It's a big day on Wall Street. Hi, my name's Jeff Marks. I'm Senior Portfolio Analyst at Action Alerts Plus, and I am standing live at the floor of the New York Stock Exchange with Jim
I'm glad
Cramer.
you introduced yourself because it has literally been since the pandemic that I've seen you.
I know, and that's crazy, and we're going back and forth all the time over at Action Alerts Plus, but it's just such a different feel to be together in person. So Jim, that brings me to my question. What's it like to being back? It's been over a year for you since you've been at the floor of the stock exchange. What's the temperature today?
I feel, now, I mean, just to be fair, there's not a lot of people on the floor, but I'm together with my partners, with Carl and David, and what it feels like is why we first came down here is that this is capitalism. Now, it is difficult for people to understand the concept of capitalism. We have meme stocks and we have crypto, but we have companies that raise money and companies that come public and companies whose stocks trade, and they're not trading in Englewood Cliffs, and they're not trading my house in Brooklyn. I mean, I did the show at my house in Brooklyn once, but no one knew. And it's like, you go upstairs and have breakfast, and it's really kind of cool for about 2 days. And then you want to go back where the action is. And this is as close to the action as you're going to get.
I'm so glad that you brought up the point of capitalism, because I think if there's one stock right now that really defines the moment of capitalism and what they're doing, raising money left over right, hand over fist, it's AMC. And they raised a ton of stock yesterday. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on this wild move that we've seen in AMC over the last couple weeks.
First, you have to know Adam Aaron is he's a galloping ghost. He's from Abington High. This is the neighboring school district, as is Jeff Sonnenfeld. We were friends. We've been friends for a long time. So I want to disclose that. Why? Because I think Adam Aaron is being a genius. And I don't want people to say, oh, Cramer's because he's an old friend. I'm saying he's being a genius. Why? Well, first he does some stock at 9. Then he has this Mudrick deal where he raises more money. I mean, he's raised more than $1 billion. That cures a lot of debt. But more important, Adam's now playing offense. Thanks to the people who believe in him. The meme people, and I have a piece this morning in Real Money that just says they hate to sell and they hate sellers. I have been vilified on Twitter because periodically I have said, like when I was in my hospital bed and GME was at 400, I said you must sell it. And no matter what I do, whether I give money to apes because that's one of their causes and it's one of my causes is animal welfare, or whether I say that AMC is great, it doesn't matter. I am the enemy. I wear a suit. I used to work at a hedge fund. People think that hedge funds are nefarious, whatever. But what does matter is that Adam Aaron can play offense. He can buy other movie theaters. He knows the hospitality business. He ran Vail, MTN, Vail Resort. He ran Starwood and sold it. So I know that the company, by some means, is overvalued. But if you listen to the people, and I do, who own it, it's Tesla. Now, can it really be Tesla? No, but Adam is a hospitality freak. He knows it in and out. He's got this currency. Who knows whether he can't do something with it because of capitalism and the excitement that people have about the higher it goes, the more options he has.
Yeah, and I also point out that Adam Aaron was the CEO of the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yes!
So if there's someone who knows about trusting the process, it would be him.
Oh my God, that's so right. What happened yesterday? Came back to within 4.
Oh, it was a wild game.
It
was a wild game. That I think, I'm a Sixers fan, so I'm partial, but I think they're going to figure out how to stop Trae Young going forward.
I think that there's going to be someone on him that wasn't allowed to be. Adam Aaron is when I saw him as run the Sixers. Again, this is a man who thrives on excitement. And is there anything more exciting than the stock of AMC? Maybe GameStop on Wednesday when they report, maybe not.
Right, well, even more exciting than the Sixers game last weekend might have been this huge Bitcoin conference that we had in Miami. Jim, what are your latest thoughts on the cryptocurrency?
Jack Dorsey giving said he would, if it weren't for Square and Twitter, he'd quit and go do that. I mean, well, wait a second. What is do that? Here's what I think, and I own some Ethereum. I own a lot of Bitcoin, a lot of Ethereum. So that's want to play with an open hand. I think these are great hedges to the craziness of the federal government. We don't stop printing money, okay? I've always said gold is the hedge. Gold is not as good a hedge, I think, as this. And I want to emphasize why. It's limited, okay? And the popularity that I saw this weekend basically gives you tremendous license to be able to own this thing in the long term. Again, no sellers, no sellers, no sellers. No sellers means higher prices. That's why I told people here, walk away. Stop selling AMC. Stop selling GameStop. Go long. And that's what's happened. Now, David Faber was talking about how there are people who own AMC bonds and are short the stock. Again, that's to me, that's a fool's gold. You can't do that. You can't let the mob overrun you. And then people are saying, well, the mob is paying. I call it the throng in my world when I use, because mob sounds too harsh. It is absolutely true that I think that these are overvalued. That's a meaningless concept, these people. Overvalued doesn't mean anything. So stop it with the overvalue. Just think about what's occurring and how excited people are, and know that it's happened before with Tesla, and it worked then. It happened with Amazon, that it worked then. And if you think that GameStop is going to be reinvented by Ryan Cohen, and if you think that Adam Aaron is going to reinvent AMC, you're going to have egg on your face if you sell these things. And I think that they are going to be reinvented.
All right, so we touched on AMC, we hit on cryptocurrencies. What's your key to the market today, Monday?
Okay, the key to the market for me is still the NASDAQ. I mean, we need to see stocks like KLA-Tencor reacting to a flex saying that there's still a shortage. We need to see AMD not be beaten down by NVIDIA and what Jensen Huang said. We need to see all sorts of technology stocks keep up with what I regard as being a runaway industrial market. Now, my friend Stephanie Link, who used to have your job, was talking this morning about service economy. The service economy, we need more from Win. And we went to work on some Win because there's something that happened. Well, you can explain it better than I can.
Yeah, so he's talking about Win. Win's a position that we own at Action Alerts Plus, and the stock's been hit hard the last couple of days. It made a nice move to about 135 last week, and then it saw some weakness after we're seeing some tighter restrictions in Macau. And Macau's a big region for Win. About 3/4 of the profits come from there. But look, I think if you're keeping the longer term view about the recovery, and we know we've seen countries recover from COVID-19, and Macau will be no different, then I think you have to take this view, this recent weakness in the stock, as you take a longer term view there, and you buy a little bit, and that's exactly what we're doing at Action Alerts Plus.
Yeah, I mean, look, Win is an incredible company. It's always been the best place. I mean, I'll go out in October, and where will I stay? I'll stay at Win to Vegas, of course. I'm going.
Luxury is what always comes to mind when I hear Win.
And it's Maddox runs it great. And Steve Wynn, I know you're not even supposed to say his name, but he's proud Philadelphian, so I always say his name. And I just think that I am not concerned about Macau. I think that what happened is the stock's been down for days because of of the Macau restrictions, and now you buy. I mean, that's it. There's nothing else coming that's bad. And I think that when you think about service economy, you should be thinking about Macau.
Yeah, we'll touch more on Win over on today's Action Alerts Club video. But Jim, that's it. Any last thoughts before we wrap up for today?
We're cruising. I think that the cruise ships, Royal Caribbean's now taking out that level when they did the secondary. I am a huge Norwegian cruise. It was an interview with David Solomon and Frank Del Rio. Norwegian cruise doing well. Carnival above 30. And these, by the way, were all meme stocks at one time. They were stocks that got moved to where they were able to finance so they didn't go bankrupt. How did 3 cruise line companies not go bankrupt when they were shut down? And the answer is the meme people. Maybe we should think that the throng isn't so crazy after all.
Meme and the ability to raise capital.
Yep.
That's the show for today. I'm Jeff Marks for Jim Cramer. The Street Live video will return to normal programming tomorrow. Thank you.